Hi and welcome to Move with Scoliosis, your channel for everything yoga and Pilates with scoliosis. My name is Christine Jareggi-Berry and today I've got a little bit of a treat for you. It's a slightly longer practice from my Shine membership and I'm sharing this with you today because lots of you have asked about a morning practice. Now this is a general practice, so it's suitable for all scoliosis curves. Do consider that obviously every scoliosis is slightly different. So if you are a little bit overwhelmed by all the YouTube videos that I've got on my channel for different curvatures and different types of scoliosis, then do take my new quiz, which you just have to answer a few questions and then you will be sent some video recommendations from me into your inbox, and that will be great for the next step on your scoliosis journey. But let's get into our practice today. Hi everyone and welcome to our morning practice today. So you will not need any props and we're going to start in all fours when you're ready. So bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, the knees hip distance apart, and let's start with our rocking cat-cow here. So we're going to inhale, lift the chest forward, exhale, taking the hips back towards the heels. So we're just going to gently start to bring in some movement into the body, starting to connect with the breath. Now we're going to be focusing on mobility here, so really important to start to get things moving after being still for a long period of time. Good. Lovely. From there, we're going to take it into the sweeping cat-cow. So instead of just taking the hips back, you can think about making this a little bit more three-dimensional. So maybe rounding a little bit more and then taking the hips back. And then when you come forwards, bending your elbows, coming forwards, pressing the floor away from you. So we're kind of round, come back, and then coming forwards. And it's a little bit of a push-up here to start to activate the arms and the shoulders. So don't worry when you're breathing in, when you're breathing out. Let's focus on deep breaths. Good. Nice. Last one. And then we're coming back to center. We're going to come into a thread the needle variation from here. So instead of kind of going into a big twist and reaching the arm up towards the ceiling, we're just going to reach the arm out to the side. And then we're going to take the arm through towards the other side. So I'm not actually using my hips to make this movement. And we're really just focusing on a little bit of a stretch into the upper body. So inhaling, take the arm out. Exhale to take the arm through. Inhale and exhale. Good. Really good to bring in a little bit of movement into that thoracic spine. Okay, let's do the other side. So inhale to take the arm out and then exhale to take it through. Good. So obviously you're going to be asking if you have a spinal fusion, can you still do this? Yes, you can. It might just mean that you're slightly, the movement might be slightly smaller, that's all. But you're still going to enjoy that stretch into the space in between the shoulder blades. Good. Last one. Lovely. And then let's come back to center and we're going to tuck the toes under. We're going to come up into downward dog from here. So keep your knees really bent because the legs might feel a little bit tight. We're going to think about really lengthening through the spine as much as possible. And then bending one leg, straightening the other. And then we're going to swap. So bending one knee, straightening the other. Just kind of pedaling through your downward dog, waking up the muscles at the back of the legs. If If you want, you can start to kind of move your hips slightly from side to side. Again, with the purpose of bringing in movement into the body. Good, lovely. And then let's bring the knees down. Let's rest in child's pose for a moment. You can make a pillow with the forearms. Just releasing for a moment. And then slowly bringing yourself back up. I'm going to warm up the hips a little bit more. So we're going to step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. And just bring the foot slightly forward of the knee. Come up onto your fingertips. So we're always with scoliosis, obviously we want to focus on keeping the length in the spine. So we're going to keep the chest slightly lifted when we start to move the hips forwards and backwards. Good. Just moving through this. We're not looking for the biggest stretch ever. We're just looking to wake up every single part of the body. Good. Lovely. If you want to start making the movements a little bit bigger, if you feel that there is space and it feels comfortable, then go ahead. Good. Nice. Let's change sides. So we're bringing that leg in, bring the other foot to the outside of the hand. And again, let's move those hips forwards and backwards. Keeping the chest lifted, so we're not kind of collapsing into the upper body. Keeping the spine nice and long. And just noticing what the side feels like. Lovely. From there, let's come back into our downward dog. So let's see how that feels after opening those hips a little bit more. And then from there, we're going to start to walk the feet towards the hands or the hands towards the feet, keeping the knees bent. And then from there, we're going to come up into standing. Let's see if you can really use your legs. So bend your knees, lift the chest, and then coming up into standing. Let's take a moment to stand in mountain pose. So just organizing your feet so that they are hip distance apart. And then if you do know your little adjustments for your scoliosis, thinking about drawing in from the convex side, wherever that is for you, making sure that the hips are directly underneath the torso, lengthening through the crown of the head, and just give your shoulders a little roll here. Bringing the shoulders up towards the ears, back and down. Good, lovely. Standing firmly on your feet, lengthening through the crown of the head. Let's take one more deep breath here. Good, and then we're going to come into our warrior one variation. So we're going to step forwards with the left foot, stepping back with the right foot. The right foot is slightly turned out. Hips are facing forwards. And we're going to slightly hinge forwards at the hips. So traditional warrior one, we would be obviously upright and there would be a bit of a back bend here in the lower back. Kind of taking that out because we're prioritizing that length in the spine. So we're going to bend the front knee until the knee is directly over the ankle. We're lengthening through the crown of the head and the tailbone. Good. Let's bring the arms up over the head. Inhale, exhale. We're going to take them into cactus arms, so elbows out to the sides. Inhale, reaching the arms up over the head, and exhale, cactus arms. One more time. Inhale to reach, and exhale. Good. Let's bring the hands to the waist. We're going to add a little warrior three here. So we're going to start to shift the weight forwards into the front foot, making sure the hips stay facing down towards the ground, and then straightening your standing leg, and you can lift your back foot off the ground, lengthening again, crown of the head, tailbone, and the back of the heel away from each other. Good. Let's take one more breath, and then we're going to step back into our warrior one. Let's bring the arms up over the head one more time. And then bring the hands to the waist, 2 step forwards. Good, shake it out a little bit. Shaking out the legs, and then we're gonna do the other side when you're ready. So the left foot will go back, the right foot comes forwards, making sure the hips are square to the front. We're hinging forward slightly, the knee is on top of the ankle, lengthening through the crown of the head and the back of the heel. So there's one straight line. Good, from there let's add the arms. So we're gonna reach the arms up over the head. Inhale, exhale, bringing the elbows out to the sides. Nice and strong warrior. Inhale, exhale, taking the elbows out. And one more time, inhale to reach, exhale, bringing the elbows out to the sides, bring the hands to the waist for our little transition now into warrior 3. So we're going to shift the weight forwards into the front leg. You can start to straighten the standing leg and then lifting the back leg any amount. Good. Just taking a moment to float here in your warrior 3. And then we're going to take it back through our warrior 1. So stepping the foot back, hips facing forwards, reach the arms up over the head. One more time. And then we bring the hands to the waist and we step forward and shaking out the legs. Good. So asymmetric poses, we want to make sure we come back to a symmetric pose, and in this case we're going to do chair pose. So bringing your feet hip distance apart, I'm turning to the side here so you can see what happens in the back. Good, so from there we're going to reach the arms forward, just bringing the hands up to shoulder height, and we're taking the hips back as if you're sitting back into a chair. What we don't want to do is kind of stick the bottom out too much and arching into the back. We also don't want to round into the back. So it's a lengthening, that's your mantra, and we're bending the knees. Inhale, exhale, maybe bend the knees a little bit more. Good. Inhale, exhale, holding that chair pose. Really strengthening those legs. You can do this, preparing all the strength you need for the day. One more time, one more breath. Inhale, exhale, and then slowly bringing yourself back up, come back into your mountain pose, and we're going to make our way down to the floor, lying on the back. Good, so we're going to have the feet hip distance apart, just keeping the knees bent, taking a moment to allow ourselves to settle into the ground. And we're going to do a little bit of core strengthening here before we have a few minutes of relaxation. So see if you can already bring the awareness kind of to the deep center of the body. So especially on the exhale, maybe you feel a little bit of that engagement of the abdominal muscles. So we're kind of inhaling into the bottom of the rib cage, and then exhale, feel that kind of contraction of the muscles of the lower abdomen, kind of moving in towards the spine, giving you lots and lots of support. Good, lovely. So from there, we're going to start with our Pilates scissor legs. So when you're ready, take an inhale, exhale, bringing one leg up into tabletop position. Inhale to lower it down. So we're going to exhale to bring one leg up. Inhale to lower it down. Good. So just moving from side to side. See if you can really focus on keeping the hips really nice and level. Sometimes what happens with lumbar scoliosis, especially in this movement, lumbar or thoracolumbar, is that when you lift the leg, you kind of get pulled over to the side a little bit and you start to flatten into the lower back. So we're not going to allow that to happen. We're going to keep that space Good, lovely. Let's take this into a single leg stretch. So we're going to bring the leg up, reach the leg out, take it back and down. So up into tabletop, reach the leg out, bring it back and down. Good. Keep going. Just keeping it nice and fluid. Lovely. Let's take this into double tabletop position. So when you're ready, bringing one leg up. Then before you bring the second leg up, really thinking about those front ribs drawing down towards the waist. Lift your second leg up to join. We're going to bring the knees and the feet together. So ideally you want the knees to be over the hips. Exactly. But if you feel that this is kind of pulling at all into your lower back and it feels uncomfortable, you can bring your knees a little bit further in, but usually it's an indication that maybe you keep going with those scissor legs until you feel strong enough to keep your legs here. If double tabletop feels possible for you right now, let's start to move the arms a little bit. So we're going to bring the arms up towards the ceiling, let them float up over the head, and then we're going to semicircle them around back up towards the ceiling. So we take them over the head and then semicircle them around to bring them back. Good. Lots and lots of stability here, strength from the core, all the things that we need with scoliosis, of course, as our bodies have to work a little bit harder during the day when we're upright. So we're just kind of preparing for that. Lovely. Let's take one more round here. Good. And then just bringing your knees in towards the chest. Have a little rock from side to side. Bring the legs up towards the ceiling. Let's give those ankles and feet a little bit of a circle and shake out. See what feels best for you. And then we're going to set ourselves up for our short Shavasana. So we're just going to extend our legs. If you feel better with a bolster underneath the backs of the knees, feel free to use that. But we're just going to allow the body to settle into the ground just for a few moments, to come back to the breath. And just to integrate what the body has learned. Noticing how it feels to be in your body right now. Maybe setting an intention for the day. What is it that you want to take into your day today? What energy do you want to bring to it? And then we're going to slowly move the fingers and the toes. Have a little stretch, reaching the arms up over the head. Slowly bending your knees. And then you can roll yourself over to the side. No rush. When you feel ready, just supporting yourself with your hands. Bringing yourself slowly up into sitting. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this practice, that you feel refreshed, that you feel ready for the day. Do check out the quiz, and I see you very soon for the next video.